All right, you ready? Great. Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What up, Randy?
What is up?
Oh, it's
You seem the mood in our studio seems down.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
Downtrodden. You seem like you got something on your mind.
I am tired.
Dude, Huck was sick over Christmas. Judd was sick last night. I got like 3.5 hours sleep. I too am tired.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm here, honestly, I should have went home. But I hit you up because Beth is going shopping with Mom and taking the boys. So I was like, well, I might as well go knock out a podcast episode, maybe 2 or 7, or take a nap.
Yeah, whatever.
I might just fall asleep here and start. What if we both fell asleep, just start snoring on the mic?
They're recording that.
Here, listen to 2.5 hours of Buckhorn snores. Buck Snore podcast.
Nah, everything's fine on this side. I'm just tired. I was up till like 1 o'clock last night playing.
I was up till after 3.
Playing Nintendo.
And I was up till after 3 because I couldn't sleep for a sick kid and just I got new headphones, so I was messing with those all night, and they're Bluetooth, which I've never had for my laptop.
Yeah, and
I watch a lot of shows and stuff on my laptop, and then I just wasn't tired. And then my alarm went off at 6, so yeah, I got. Or maybe it was after 2. I don't know. I got like 3.5 hours sleep, something like that. But yeah, I feel you on the tired thing.
Yeah, I'm just tired. But, so, I'm going to issue a challenge. I'm doing a challenge. It's not a challenge. I do it every year, for the most part, where I do not drink through the month of January. No drink January. So it's like Sober October, but I don't drink through the month of January. Sometimes
I've never heard of Sober October, but
no, there's a big Sober October movement. I don't do it in October just because
you're a rebel.
That's stupid. Middle of the year. Let's do it at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to try and create a challenge.
Are we putting this out to everybody?
If they want to join.
So you're just putting it out there.
I'm putting it out there. I'm doing this myself.
Now, I know a lot of our listeners don't drink anyway, so that'll be easy for them.
That'll be easy for them. But I'll every year from... Like I posted at a New Year's Eve party, last drink of 2019, like last beer of 2019, and I haven't had anything since that one. Now, granted, it's only 5 days in, so
we're doing great.
So I'm doing great.
I'm with you.
But
I also have not had a beer or anything in 2020.
Right. So in some of the upcoming shows you'll hear, we did have some old fashions, but they were done in 2019.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up.
We don't know when we're going to release this show.
Yeah, and I don't know when I'm releasing this show.
Till June.
So, whatever. But for February, I'm planning to do...
Totally Wasted.
No.
Valentine's.
No. Basically a carnivore diet for all of February or March. I don't know. I'm still researching to see how much it's going to take. Like the time.
Carnivore diet.
You eat nothing but meat. No veggies.
I mean, I'm down for
that. No sugar. No anything.
Just meat.
Now,
what about in beverages?
That's
you say no sugar.
Well, that's what I'm looking into. So, but you're only supposed to eat meat. Now I'm looking into. I've got to look into some of the other stuff with it to see what all it entails. But for the most part, it's just meat.
I'm down with you for that one. For both of these, the no drinking. It's something I backed off of. A few months ago I started kicking back on the alcoholic beverages, so I'm with you on that. I'll go through January with you easy. And then this meat thing, I told Beth, I said, forget New Year's resolutions, but New Year's always gives you time to think, whether you do resolutions or not. Right. You always kind of you have that self-reflection. It's all around us.
Right.
People are always asking, what do you want to do differently in the new year? I've got to lose weight. So this all meat diet thing, I don't know what it will do to my bowels, but I'm down to try it. There are vegetables and fruits I like. I told Beth, like, instead of buying me this little, cause she'll give me like one of those family size bags of like peanut M&Ms or bite-sized Snickers or something.
Right.
And I'll just grab a few. at night when I'm wanting to snack.
You should get some jerky.
Well, I will. But what I did a couple nights ago was frozen grapes. You'll buy the real sweet grapes, wash them, put them in little, like the half sandwich size baggies, and throw them in the freezer. So I ended up eating 2 baggies of those, but that's a total of like 100 calories.
I used to eat those all the time, and now I can't stand them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
I got to the point where I was just bringing...
Well, I got on a pickle kick, too. I was eating pickles and drinking pickle juice almost every night. I'd eat a pickle and take a sip of the juice. But I was having a lot of cramps, too, and I heard that that's good for cramps.
Yeah.
So maybe I should be doing that again.
Magnesium will help you with cramps.
Maybe I should get magnesium.
Get some magnesium pills, like 400 milligram magnesium pills.
Yeah, all meat. I don't know. I've done a juice fast before, and it's weird when you juice and you drink. I drink nothing but water and black coffee, and just to kind of cleanse everything.
Right.
So you do nothing but juice. Now it can be juice you buy, which you got to water. You can't buy like
it's
sugar laden apple juice from concentrate. You got to buy
most of it's even Tropicana. You get or not the Tropicana.
I'm talking like the Bolthouse Farms. And
I'm thinking
like when I say juice, I mean stuff that's juice, fruits, and vegetables,
right?
Blended.
Oh, that stuff.
And I bought a blender, a juicer. We did our own, but I did that for I forget how long. But it's weird because you just stop going to the bathroom after a while because your body's using everything. You're only putting good nutrients in it. Your body uses that.
Well, it's all liquid too.
It is, and you're burning a lot of the fat.
It's going to take a much longer time to back up all that fiber. Into your colon.
So the meat, I don't know if I'll crap more or just get clogged up, but hey, a month of nothing but meat. I like corn. Anything corn I like. Corn, cream corn, corn on the cob, bourbon, popcorn, anything corn I like.
Candy corn,
green beans, peas. Like there's
candy
broccoli.
corn's disgusting.
Dude, I will slam candy corn in all its waxy goodness.
The only thing good about candy corn is opening the bag and dumping it in the trash.
I will go through your trash and eat your candy corn.
That's gross.
Well, depends on what you have in your trash, but I'm with you. I'll do a month of nothing but meat.
Well, we're excuse me. We're gonna see how this goes. So January.
So no drinking for January. We are totally no bourbon reviews, no whiskey reviews.
No, but I do have some bourbon talk. So it doesn't mean we can't talk about it.
There's a conversation I've been having with guys, and when I travel the state, I've had a couple guys go, "Hey, if you're around Dayton or Cincy, and you see this, because I can only find it online, at these stores,
right?
Grab me a bottle of whatever." Yeah. So I've done that for a few guys, and they'll PayPal me or whatever immediately, and that's fine. But I haven't been buying for myself at all, and the conversation with a few guys, it's from Columbus Racing, some of the car guys.
Yep.
I was talking with them. Well, then a couple nights ago, one of the Hulu things that popped up, like, you might like this movie or show or whatever, was a documentary called Neat.
Yes. I haven't
Have you seen that?
No, because
Watch it.
It was on YouTube, or not YouTube. It was on Netflix at one time.
Okay.
It's been pulled from Netflix.
It's on Hulu right now.
It might be on Amazon. I don't have Hulu. So it might be on Amazon, so I'll check Amazon. Or I may be able to just find it on YouTube.
Yeah, if not, we'll find a way for you to see it. Honestly, as much as I've read and researched and studied about bourbon and whiskey in general, there were still a few things I learned, and I saw some really cool things. One thing that frustrated me was there's a lady in there that gets paid to just travel around and try bourbon.
Oh, they have. Everybody has. Is her name Jackie?
I don't remember.
No, because I follow.
And it's not frustrating that she does it. Good for her. It's frustrating that somebody makes probably more money than I do to go around and taste it and go, here's my opinion. We do that here for nothing.
Well, there are people that work for Woodford and that work for Russell or Wild Turkey.
Right.
And
Jim Beam.
They're not the master distillers.
No.
They are the people that test to make sure that this product and this product that come out of two different barrels or two different batches of barrels taste the same.
And that's a cool thing too. See, what I was going to say is I actually learned a lot from that, because you always read, don't always, if you're a bourbon connoisseur or a whiskey guy or gal, you'll read a bottle that says very small batch or single barrel. Mm-hmm. You may not know exactly what that means. And in this documentary, it literally gives you like all the breakdown of anything and everything bourbon from, and it interviews a few master distillers. One guy, and I forget, I don't know if it was for Buffalo Trace, for Jim Beam.
Should have taken notes.
The corn comes in. I can go watch it again. The corn comes in, he'll pick it up and smell it, and he goes, if I don't like the smell, we pitch it. And I'm talking like shipments, like truckfuls of corn grain.
Yeah.
But
it could be moldy. There could be a bacteria on it that's making it smell funny.
Yeah, anything.
I mean, anything could screw up the taste.
But they know just by picking up a handful, smelling it, whether the whole batch is good or bad.
Yep.
And then the consistency of a major brand like a Woodford Reserve, a Jim Beam,
whoever.
Maker's Mark, any bourbon comes from, because when you make bourbon, you get corn from maybe a couple different farms, maybe one giant farm, whatever. You get so much yield per batch. It goes into barrels. The barrels go into the rack houses at different levels. The different levels cause it to age differently.
Right.
So what
something
they do,
on the floor could taste completely different than something on the third floor.
On the third or fourth, whatever, right.
Yeah.
So what they do is mix a bunch of barrels, and that's how they get the consistency. You take the whole rack house, mix all the barrels, bottle it, and that's how you get Elijah Craig, or that's how you get whatever it is. So when you take... it was Colonel Taylor that first had the idea of doing a single barrel.
Mm-hmm.
He found what he called the honey barrel.
One barrel.
Right. This barrel at this particular place and this rack house for this many years will always taste like this, and no other barrel tastes like this.
Yep.
So that's why it's so much more expensive.
Yep.
And then
they're usually a higher proof in some cases, too.
The master distiller Jim Beam at the time that happened went, well, that's ridiculous. But if we take so many barrels, not the whole rack house, but a few barrels, we do a small batch, we get more consistency. Mm-hmm. He didn't like that. What Colonel Taylor was doing was inconsistent.
And that Colonel Taylor just is E.H. Taylor.
Right, exactly. And there's a place now, the old E.H. Taylor distillery shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It got bought and is reopened now.
Well, it's owned by Buffalo Trace.
No, there's a place called Castle and Key.
Oh, well, yeah, Castle and Key.
And I'd never heard of them.
But Castle and Key owns the old distillery.
Right.
E.H. Taylor is by Buffalo Trace.
Right.
Yeah.
But the old distillery is now a place called Castle Key. They just now barreled, well, whenever Neat was made, their first run of bourbon.
So I think
they're giving it 4
2017.
Years. I think
is
so,
when
like 16, 17.
Neat came out.
But yeah, it was a really, really cool documentary, and I actually learned a few things that I didn't know. So I highly recommend watching that.
Whether you drink bourbon or not, watch it.
No, it's really cool.
There's
a lot of history. Yeah, it's very cool.
I've seen. I should rephrase. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't been able to watch the whole thing.
And also, I went to the Castle and Key website. I want to go visit that place.
Yeah.
Because they took the old boiler room and made it like their shop where you can buy merch and hang out. The well house is shaped like a keyhole.
Okay.
Because Colonel Taylor said that the key to good bourbon is good water. And that's why he shaped it like a keyhole. And you can actually go to the old train depot, which is now just, there's no train that runs through there. But they turn it into, I think, called like room 17. Okay. You go in there, get a glass of bourbon, you can walk out to the well house and just sip on it and talk. Like, it's just a really cool looking place. But yeah, great documentary. So maybe sit down and watch it. If you're going to join us here in January, maybe we should release this episode this week.
I'm going to.
Yeah. If you're going to join us with no alcohol at all on January. No drink January. Sit down without anything and watch it. If you want, wait till February and grab your favorite bourbon and sit down and watch it. My favorite thing was one of the third generation workers at, I want to say Buffalo Trace, was talking about how he got to a point where somebody gave him a bottle of Pappy, old Pappy 12-year. And him and his dad and brother were sitting around. He'd left, long story short, watch the documentary, but the one thing I took away from it was he got this bottle given to him. He opened it with his dad, who was getting older in age, and his brother. They were all aging, and they poured 3 glasses, and he says the first time in like so many years that him and his dad and brother sat down with no distraction, no TV, like nothing.
Yeah.
And they just enjoy each other's company. So we were laughing, we're having a good time, and I went and put the cork back in the bottle. And my dad looked at me very sternly, said, like, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, this is extremely rare. I want to save it so we can toast again in the future." And his dad said, "Don't you ever do that." He said, bourbon is meant to be enjoyed with the ones you love.
That's right.
Do not ever close a bottle too early. And he said they finished the bottle. It's one of the greatest memories he's ever had with his dad and brother. And within 9 months, his dad and brother both passed away.
Oh, see?
And it's just, it just goes to show, like, we talk many times about these rare bottles and what's hard to get and what we try to save.
That's why
his dad said it's meant to enjoy between families and friends. You know, it's bourbon by the people that make it. They make their first run, they get to taste it. If they live to make their second run because of the aging process,
Yep.
they're good. But most they don't get their third.
Right.
They're like these guys there are people that make bourbon that they know they'll never taste. It's kind of like the old adage of, planting a tree, knowing you'll never sit in its shade. You're doing it for future generations.
Mm-hmm.
It's that passion that goes into it. And I really, it kind of struck me like there's not many things in life that you can say that about, or that people are that passionate about.
Right.
So,
well, and that's why I have a no sale
policy. You said that.
Yeah,
you're
on
like,
my
if you
bottles.
get Old Pappy or
I get anything. I will not flip that bottle.
The ginger, you said this is my last bottle. Let's open it.
Yeah.
So you could share it with a friend here recently, which I don't know when that episode will air, but it's very much that this is hard to get, but you know what? Good times and good memories with friends, with family.
Yeah.
That's what life's about.
And that ginger bottle I opened specifically for DJ.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't get any of that. I didn't get any. Well, no, that's not true. We had old fashions with it.
Oh, okay.
I take it back.
I don't remember.
Because I made it with the agave.
Oh, that's right.
And it wasn't good. You guys liked it. I didn't like it.
Well,
but
I liked it. It wasn't as good as the proper way.
Yeah,
which is crack open my Powerade,
which is fine because I still got to go get simple syrup anyhow. So there wouldn't be any old fashions today anyway.
I was wondering about that on the way here.
Yeah, I haven't bought any.
But if we're not drinking January, it don't matter.
Doesn't matter. So we're going to do the no drink January. I haven't come up with an alternative for February yet. I was thinking about doing the carnivore diet, but I've got to look into it.
So are we doing something each month this year? Or is that
my goal is to try to do something different each month.
I'm with you, man. Let's do it.
And not something like, oh, I'm going to learn to play piano. That takes longer than a month.
Yeah.
Chopsticks and
for
hot,
most people, unless you're
hot cross buns doesn't count. So
I can't even do chopsticks properly on piano, and I'm a musician.
Yeah,
I've recorded on several albums stuff, but I cannot play piano.
I am determined at this point, I think, to learn to play piano. I just got to get off my ass and do it. But I'm not going to make that one of the challenges.
You have to be on it to play piano.
Well, I have a piano.
Jerry Lee Lewis and standing up and playing.
Right. Well, I have a piano in the house, and I've had it for 2 years, but I've never attempted to learn. I tried in October, but I was only trying one specific type of playing, which is called boogie woogie, and it's extremely complicated, and it's a lot of left hand play.
Yeah, you started at the top. Like you
I didn't start.
You didn't start at beginner.
No. So but that's a goal, is to try to learn to play piano at this point.
I don't know how to swim. Let's go to the deep end first.
Yeah. Well, that's how you learn, right? Just throw them in the deep end.
That's either how you learn or you die and never do it again.
I haven't died. But anyway, so my goal is for myself to try to do a challenge every month. Something like, in a month, read 2 books. Or silly things. Like, the no drinking is kind of silly.
It's not silly, though. I think it's all self-improvement.
It is.
Which we're not a self-improvement podcast, but I think everybody in every realm, in every era, generation, nationality, whatever, religion, creed, I think we all should try to continually improve ourselves. And in doing so, the world will improve. Now, there's always going to be a-holes. There's always going to be...
Well, I'll be one of them.
Well, there's a difference in being an a-hole like you and I, and being an a-hole that just blows up random buildings because we don't like them.
Oh, well, that's...
Or people. That's what I was talking about. Like, there's different, whatever it is, evil, sin, whatever, that'll always exist. But the day-to-day, like, one of my things I've been trying to do the last few months is interact more in public. Now, that doesn't mean I go to everybody in public and run up to them and smile and give them a hug.
That would be hilarious.
Well, until I get arrested. But what I've been trying to do is be more cordial to people. I very much recognize about myself that I am an a-hole. Even in public, I'm the guy that if people look at me and we make eye contact, I turn away.
Oh, I'm the same way. But
I'm trying to do at least the hi, how you doing? Or hey, have a nice day. To people I don't even know. One of the reasons is it's more of a security thing for me.
I don't do that to people I do know.
Well,
I was at a birthday party last night. I mean, we started at 4. Well, it wasn't for me. We started at around 4:00 down at Pins Mechanical. And I have a social anxiety disorder of some sort anyway, where there's a party going on. I will literally stand in the back of the room or in the corner, just away from everybody and just watch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in the middle of everything.
See, I'm the opposite in that I want to be the guy that makes people laugh, but I'd rather be a small group of people I know. If other people join that, fine.
Oh, this was a small group. There were only like maybe 12 or 13 of us in total.
I might be okay with that depending on who it was.
But it was, I mean, it's all people I hang out with all the time, you know, that we do. That was with them with New Year's. And I just don't like being in the middle of things. And people who are loud for no reason incite me.
Nuts.
Like just because, or they get too drunk, or they get whatever, just
boisterous.
Drives me insane. Like why do you have to be so loud?
Well,
why
when I'm saying in public, I'm talking about like, say you go to the store today.
This isn't public. This was a Ben's.
No. Hear me out. Say you go to Ameristop to look for a beer you're not going to drink till February. You go to Target or Kohl's, or maybe it's you and Liz. You're going in the store, somebody's walking out. I'm making it more of a point to look at them and say, hey, how you doing? Hey, have a nice day. I don't care about that. I know you don't.
Yeah,
I never do either. But I'm trying to... I also think it's better for me to be aware of my surroundings. I used to teach self-defense and hand-to-hand combat. I need to get back to that mindset of, hey, make note of what that person is, what they're wearing, their demeanor, how do they look. Just be more aware.
Yeah.
It's not about... I'm not going to be like Sean in Psych, where I look at somebody and I notice something on their shoes that tells me what they've been doing, if you've ever seen the show Psych. But I also want to do it to appear to be, at least on the surface, a more decent human being. My problem is with the people I know, like if I was in that situation, if you know me, I'm not changing. I am who I am. I'm talking about the general public, hey, how you doing?
No, I got it. I know what you're saying.
But yeah, I think a thing each month, depending on what it is, I'll do them with you, depending on what they are.
It's not because
I don't want to commit.
Well, it's not going to be anything. But my goal is not to do anything
drinking,
crazy.
Fine, I'm down with that. We can do sober January. I mean, I haven't been drinking a lot anyway. I've been sober for.
There may be 1 month where I just do no sugar.
That's fine. I'd do that with you.
Like
I can do no sugar for a month.
But then we have to define what sugar is. Is it refined sugar? Is it all sugar? Because there's sugar in fruits.
It's not natural sugar, like honey or fruit. Like fruit's a natural sugar. I would think. I mean, if we say no sugar and we go hardball, we would just do no sugar, no sweeteners.
So it's just we'll have to figure all that out. Anyway,
well, I'm going to leave that to you.
Yeah, it's
my New Year's resolution is for you to do that for me.
Awesome. Great.
Tell me what's next, and I'll say yay or nay.
Great.
But I'm down for January. I'm down for the meat thing. We'll go from there.
Yeah. So I got to figure all that out, like I said, and then that'll be forthcoming, and I'll talk about it obviously on the show and how things are going. I've already taken fat pictures and grabbed my weight so that I can see what the difference is between now and January, and I'll be logging all my workouts
for the whole year.
Well, I always log my workouts.
Right, but I mean, you're talking a year's worth of pictures?
No.
Oh, you said now to January.
Oh, sorry. You mean now to end of January.
Okay. I thought you meant like January to January. I was like,
no, who knows? I may do one monthly photo of just progress through everything, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at one point I was 260. And I got...
Oh, yes. The 8th grade.
Yeah. I got
times.
Before we started...
I think I was 285 going into high school.
Jesus. I was 185. You're a whole person on me.
Now I can be two whole people on you.
No, thank you. We did, like a few years ago, we did a paleo challenge at the gym. And going into starting at the gym, I was 260. By the time we started that paleo challenge, I was like 249, 245 to 249. And by the end of that 2 month challenge, I was down to 205.
Wow. And paleo, I like paleo.
I like paleo as well.
Because paleo, you could eat like eggs,
you
bacon,
can eat basically anything
meat.
you want other than refined sugar.
Yeah, if it was here before you, before people,
you can't even do that. They've just given it the name paleo because they have paleo cookies.
No, I don't do that crap. I was doing natural. Animals and vegetables and fruits.
I just consider paleo to be basically anything that's not processed. Like processed meat. Like no lunch meat.
Right.
Nothing processed. Nothing that a machine has essentially touched other than,
all natural.
A bandsaw to cut some bones for some steaks or a butcher's knife.
Well, that's different.
But
That doesn't affect the meat.
Right. But I just, no refined, no processed anything. And I lost
A lot of weight.
40 pounds in 2 months. Now, that wasn't healthy. That's because I gained.
And you were working out a lot then, too.
Right. And I'm going to get back to working out a lot again starting this month.
Because you were in the gym every freaking time I went in there.
Well, I'll be in there almost every day going forward to probably twice a day in some cases. I have a
new
gym
year,
work.
new you.
Well, that's the
Again.
goal. Again.
New year, new me.
Anyway.
One more time.
On with the show, on to other things. You sent me a photo. Well, actually, let's keep going with bourbon, then we'll get to that. So I found an article from Wide Open Country. So I don't know who they are or what.
I have no clue. Never heard of them.
What credentials or credibility have. But I liked it because it said 10 surprising health benefits to drinking whiskey. And this is where we'll continue our whiskey talk, even though we're not having any.
Right.
So they've got basically this top 10 of things that whiskey can help you do.
Forget things.
You can forget a lot of
your
things.
ex,
right.
According to country music.
So number 10 is weight loss aid.
Okay.
I don't necessarily believe this.
I was waiting to see where you're going with that.
So here's what it says. You read that right, because whiskey is a low-carb diet or low-carb drink. It makes the perfect choice for anyone who's watching their weight. The American Study for Clinical Nutrition published a study in 1991 that suggested that moderate intake increases energy and decreases desire for sugar, sucrose, however you want to pronounce that. Sucrose intake. If you're counting your calories, a shot of whiskey is 64 calories. So put down that beer and have a shot of wild turkey instead.
Okay, so yes, versus beer, it would be a better alternative.
It would be better.
And in moderation.
But whiskey converts to sugar.
Right.
So
corn.
does beer, but it's all corn.
Yeah.
Or rye or wheat.
So it's not great for you. It's just a better alternative is what they're saying.
Right. It's a better alternative.
I can get on board with. In moderation, it would be a better alternative than beer.
Yeah.
But it's not like if you do this, you're going to start shedding the pounds and get a six-pack.
No. So it's kind of a false statement.
Yeah.
Cancer prevention. Another great health benefit of whiskey is its high concentration of elgic acid. ELLAGIC. I'll go with it. Elgic acid.
Ellagic.
Yeah, sure. A powerful antioxidant that can neutralize cancer-causing free radicals in the human body. Single malt whiskey is said to contain more antioxidants than red wine. So she can be his glass of wine and he can be her shot of whiskey, and they'll both reap the health benefits.
I was going to say, I know drinking a glass of wine like every night or two is really good for you.
Well, and they're talking about single malt whiskey, which is not American whiskey for the most part.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
It may be a Texas whiskey, but usually it's overseas from the Isleys.
So, yeah, well, I don't have cancer, and you don't have cancer that we know of, so maybe there's some truth to that.
I got to get a spot checked on my back. We'll see.
Way to drop that bomb on me. Hey, thanks for listening. Martelle's got cancer.
Well, no, I don't have cancer.
Melanoma.
So the next one is stroke prevention. Now, this one, just based on stroke prevention, they're going to call it a blood thinner.
Well, yeah, I mean, any alcohol can do that.
Right. As with health benefits of whiskey, the key is to consume in moderation because its blood-thinning properties. A daily shot of whiskey can lower a person's risk for a stroke.
Now, here's the thing. I think there have been proven over the years, whether it be wine or whiskey or some others, that if you have a single drink at night or whenever,
yeah,
I'm not the kind of guy that can wake up and just do a shot.
No, they're just saying daily.
But yeah, do a daily shot's worth. I would pour a couple ounces over ice myself, usually.
That's more than a shot.
What's a shot?
About an ounce.
Ounce and a half.
No, it's like an ounce.
Either way, do a shot's worth, give or take, overnight or once a day, once a night. There's definitely been proven to have benefits. That would be one of them. That could be said for many, though. So far, this list has been kind of a ticky-tacky.
Right.
Nothing said strictly bourbon or whiskey is beneficial to my health yet.
So this one we talk about all the time. Whiskey treats the common cold.
That has
Hot
been
toddy.
proven. Hot toddy. I mean, It's like Popcorn Sutton said. He can make kissing moonshine, fighting moonshine, healing moonshine. He used to tell people what kind of moonshine you want, and he would change his recipe a little bit. And he would know by the taste or by the proof or whatever when it ran off his still, hey, this one tends to get people fired up, or this one tends to get people all.
This will put you in a fighting mood.
Yeah, I'm not one to. I don't know how much truth was in that, but for somebody that did as long as Popcorn did and had the knowledge he did of whiskey, of the old White Lightning, he's one I'd have to call an expert at it. Mm-hmm. And he said if he got sick, he'd take a shot of a certain kind of moonshine he made, and he said within the day, you're good.
So this one says, the ingredients of this favorite winter beverage have many of the same properties as a dose of NyQuil.
I will say there was a time when I was deathly ill, and I was taking NyQuil or Sudafed, whatever it was.
NyQuil used to be good. Then they took out the active ingredient, which is the one that made you sleep.
I don't even know.
Well, they separated it. It used to be the point where you could take a shot of NyQuil, wake up the next morning,
and be good.
And you're great.
Yeah.
But they took that active ingredient out that makes you sleep, and they called it ZQuil, or whatever it is now, or NyQuil Z, or whatever. That's just the sleeping aid.
Oh, okay.
And made it like a different flavor than the red or the green, so you can't mix them.
Just mix everything.
And just
mix it all and drink it.
It's gross anyway.
There was a time where I was really, I hadn't been drinking at all. I had been on just a drinking hiatus for a long, I'm talking a year and a half. And finally Beth said, screw it, I'm going to go buy you some whiskey and make you a hot toddy.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And she made me a hot toddy. I drank one. The next day I drank one. And the next day I was perfectly fine. I fought it for like 2.5 weeks. Nothing was working. 2 hot toddies, I was good to go.
Yeah. It
just one a
just
day.
Works.
So yeah, that one I believe.
And whiskey was distilled as medicine before it was used to get people drunk, and during getting people drunk, and as part of the prohibition.
Yeah, and they talk about that in that neat documentary.
So number 6 is it's a stress destroyer. You get drunk, your stress is going to be gone.
Your stress will be gone temporarily. It may not be gone the next day, but I would say that, again, in moderation, doing a drink a day does help, I would say, calm the nerves.
Yeah.
A little. So, you don't have to get drunk. You don't need to. That's not what this is about. We're not talking getting smashed, because I don't think there's any health benefits to getting hammered off of cheap whiskey or, even expensive whiskey. But, I would say there's definite health benefits to a drink a day. And here's the other thing, too. When we're talking health benefits, it's a touchy subject with some folks in some of my circles. Alcohol is a slippery slope with people. It has proven problematic, obviously. That's why we have things like AA.
It has addiction.
But those same people that are so against alcohol, for whatever reason, personal reasons maybe it's affected them personally, have no problem with doctors prescribing narcotics.
Yeah, oxycodone.
Which are also there's a reason we have NA.
Right.
I think if just like with narcotics or any other, even over-the-counter drugs or caffeine, I know people so addicted to caffeine they can't even see straight and they have migraines all day if they don't have it. In moderation, if you control it, I think that a single drink a day is extremely beneficial for the nerves, for the mind, for the spirit, for the body.
Yeah, I agree. So what they're saying is it has a barbiturate effect. The barbiturate effect of alcohol can reduce stress. It also has a sedative property that helps you sleep when you're experiencing anxiety. I honestly think they took an article from someplace else and replaced wine with whiskey.
That's kind of what it sounds like. Somebody's like, I don't like wine, but I like whiskey.
Because the next one lowers the risk of dementia, which
I've heard that
they've said the same thing about wine. So I'm not even reading this one. It aids in digestion. They literally took an article and just replaced wine with whiskey.
Maybe it's just alcohol in general.
Helps prevent diabetes, can soothe the sore throat. The hot toddy does that as well. Or you can mix warm water, whiskey, and honey, which is basically a hot toddy.
The sore throat thing, I know for a fact. There was a very, very famous
Willie Nelson.
No. I'm going complete opposite of what you're thinking.
Oh.
I grew up touring the country on a Southern Gospel bus. My family was very popular in the late 80s, especially into the early to mid 90s. Sang all the National Quartet Convention, all the big Southern Gospel stuff. They did. We had our own bus. We traveled the country. I'd get picked up from school on Friday on a tour bus and dropped off on Monday. Just a lot of my childhood was spent in that circle. And there's a lot of bad I could say about that and a lot of good looking back. But cast aside your preconceived notions, there is a very, 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 very famous, to this day, if anybody's in that circle still knows their name, even though they passed years ago, very famous vocalist that every time I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible because it's not my business to tell, but every time they would sing, they would do a shot of whiskey before they go on stage. Now, being in Southern Gospel with a lot of super conservative, super traditional gospel folks, they hid that for obvious reasons. Not because they thought it was wrong, not because they thought it was sinful having that one drink only when they sang.
It was other people.
But they just didn't want to have to deal with the tarnished reputation. They don't have to deal with, and some people say drinking itself in the Bible is not listed as sin. Drinking for the sole purpose of getting drunk, or if it's harming your witness, if it's causing other people to stumble, that's where it starts to get a little iffy. Okay? But this person didn't want that to happen, so they kept it a secret. But for the sole purpose of preserving vocal cords, this singer would do a shot of whiskey before singing, and they were so good at what they did that there are YouTube videos of them compared to secular artists. They would do secular shows because of the range they had. But to me, when I found that out, which I didn't find out till years later when I was much older, and I found it out from a pretty reliable source to me. But that proved to me right then and there that regardless of what Americans think, super conservative traditionalists think, whatever, there are healing properties to it. There's definitely, so soothing a sore throat or an illness, I fully believe that whiskey can and does do so. I still don't see it as something beneficial to my health if I'm healthy. So far, this article's not convinced me of anything except if you're sick, it helps.
Right. And that's all
or
it is.
It can prevent some things in moderation.
Right.
That I agree with.
And the last one is prolong your life. There was a study on alcoholism found that middle-aged and older adults, moderate drinkers, had a lower overall mortality rate than heavy drinkers. Well, no shit.
Yeah. See, the key to this whole article really is moderation.
Moderation.
This is only talking about a drink a night, a drink a day, whatever, or when you're sick. Heavily drinking, especially if you're doing it daily, that's full-blown alcoholism. If you are listening and you're not able to do Sober January with us because you just can't get away from it, you might need help. And I don't know, message or email us, we'll try to get you help. Yeah. But I think all things, and when I say all things, that's not a big giant umbrella, covers everything, but the moderation is key. Certain substances, certain things can be addictive, and that don't even have to be a drug or a drink. There are a lot of things that are addictive that people don't realize they're doing.
Well, everything, mobile phones, video games.
Mobile electronics in general is a big one. I recently got back into watching that show. I was never into it, but that show Hoarders.
Ugh.
And the kind of crap that, like, this one lady was collecting purses, but she was only buying purses. She'd go twice a day to thrift stores.
Yeah.
So she's buying purses for $1 that are only worth maybe max $5 on the open market. And she thought she had thousands of dollars in purses. And these professionals were like, she had one legit, like, it was like Louis Vuitton or like one legit purse. And they offered her $200 for it. And she was like, no way. But she wanted $200 for all the knockoffs too. And all, so there are addictions and things that are unhealthy across the board. So we're not just saying just alcohol or whiskey, whatever. But I would say all things in moderation, whether it's shopping, collecting.
Listening to us.
No, you should definitely listen to us more.
At least
Give us
once
a like,
week.
share. Yeah, at least once a week. Sip us slowly.
Anyway, let's move
We
on
go
to the
down
next
smooth.
thing. That I should have pre-read that article.
No, I don't think it's a bad article. I think in the end, the thing I got from it was in moderation. It's a good thing, which we do here.
Right.
We do it in an old fashioned. We have one with a friend, and that's that.
I mean, our servings are typically about 2 ounces.
We have not sat down and like just pounded bottle after bottle.
We should.
Just
to get rid of some of my inventory. Maybe that's what June will be.
If we drink everything June.
Drink everything June.
No. Hard pass on that. I really need to keep things in check.
My birthday month.
For my own health, I need to really keep things in check in all things in moderation, like Snickers bars and Barnes?
Barnes.
Snickers barns and candy corns.
Ugh. All right.
So, what's next?
What's next? So, you sent me a...
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever...
Yeah, it's like...
And it
gives dollar values to each one.
It gives dollar values to each one. So, and I hate the... I always hate these. Share if you got more than whatever.
Yeah,
share
I didn't
this.
share it. I sent it to you.
You just sent it to me.
Because I thought it'd be fun to talk about on air and let listeners try and figure out what we've done. Because I figure we just only give our totals.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to say each thing I've done. I want to get the point value. I'll keep track. You keep track of yours. And we'll give our totals.
Okay.
And the listeners can
So I'll read these off
or...
and we'll just keep track of our totals.
Yeah. So let me get a calculator open.
Okay. I'm just going to write my totals down.
Well, yeah, you got pen and paper.
Because I got pen and paper.
So this is each one of these things is have you ever done this gives a certain dollar value.
Right.
10, 20, 30, whatever.
So the most is 20. Or no, the most is 50. Sorry.
50.
So it's 10, 20, or 50.
And I don't know what the total could be. I didn't add them all up.
I didn't add it all up.
I just saw it on a friend's thing. I put 0, and then like all these people were replying. One, my buddy that posted this, he's a fellow blacksmith. There was a lady that replied, and I looked at her profile picture. She looked a little bit older than me. So I'm not going to say an age. But all she said was, I've been skinny dipping and have pictures to prove it. How about the rest of y'all? And I just put that Michael Scott, like, gross gif. Like, I don't care who you are, what you look like. I don't need to know that. But all these people are putting their totals, and I just put 0. Y'all need Jesus. Left it at that.
Nice.
So I sent it to you, so we're going to go through now, figure up our totals. You all can play along at home or in the car. And I guess you can try and figure out what we've done by our total, if you care.
I'm adding everything up right now to see what the total is.
So
I think I get a total of $270.
Okay, so the max you can have is $270.
I think.
If you've done it, if you've done your numbering right.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I got 21. So maybe it's 260. I think I added an extra 10 in here. So it's 260, not 270. I added an extra 10. Okay, so the first one is, have you ever smoked weed?
Okay, and how much is that worth?
That is 10 points, or $10.
Okay, so if you smoked weed, $10.
That's $10.
Let's do it donuts. We're calling it 10 donuts.
Nah, we're doing dollars.
Oh, you're no fun.
Because that's a lot of donuts. You get fat.
You don't have to eat them. It's just our rating system.
Either way.
All right, fine.
Donuts for dollars. Number 2 is popped pills.
Now we're talking pop pills not prescribed and not used as prescribed, right? That's
not
what
used as prescribed.
Okay.
Prescription pills, Molly, whatever, but not
Percocet,
prescribed. Yep.
Oxy.
Pop pills.
Tylenol.
Yep.
I snorted a Flintstone vitamin once.
I don't think that counts.
Okay.
I've snorted pixie sticks.
That's not a pill.
It's not a pill.
It's a powder.
Well,
that's a pre-ground pill.
Flintstone vitamin is just candy.
They're delicious.
So pop pills is $10 as well. Number 3 is went streaking. That's $10.
I don't run with clothes on.
I don't like to run with clothes on. Oh, oops. I'm kidding.
Next.
I don't like to run. Number 4 is skinny dipping. That is $10. Number 5, been arrested. $10. Number 6, gotten into a fist fight. $10.
My favorite is being able to watch you right. Oh, Diesel. You big old head. Being able to watch you right as we go, nobody else has any idea.
Right. I'm just 0 or whatever
right.
the amount is. Let's see. That was number 6. Number 7, gotten drunk.
How many dollars?
That's $10. Number 8, wrecked a car. That's $20. Number 9 is egged someone's house, and that is $10. Lay down.
Diesel went over to the other mic. He's like, I totally egged somebody's house.
Right.
I have wrecked a car.
But that mic's not turned on.
I popped so many marijuanas.
He's having issues because there's too many pillows on his bed.
So that's a real man right there. Like, why are all these pillows here?
Look at him.
I need one.
You guys can't see this, but there's 3 large, like, sofa pillows on his bed. Holy hell.
Ooh, my bad.
And he's grumbling about it.
Okay, where are we at?
My phone just turned off. Hold on. All right, so we were at number 9, egg someone's house. Number 10, playing Ding Dong Ditch.
How much is that worth?
Oh, sorry, that's $10.
So far, it's been all 10s.
Yeah, so far it's been all 10s. Number 11 is been suspended.
From school or from a ceiling?
Just says been suspended.
How much is that?
$10. Number 12 is been expelled. That's $10 as well. Number 13 is pulled a fire alarm. That is $20. Or donuts.
Dollars for donuts.
Or pink points. Pinkies up points.
And we're going to say pulled a fire alarm not for an emergency reason.
Yes.
Not like all that. Yeah, the building's on fire. Of course I pulled it.
This is just
maliciously.
Yep. Number 14 is TP'd someone's property. That is $10. So we've only had one $20 one so far.
10 doll hairs.
10 points, $10, $10 for donuts, 10 pinky points. Number 15 is stolen something.
How many is that?
10. I keep forgetting that. I know. Stolen
That's
something.
Why I keep asking.
10 points.
It's not because I've done it. I just noticed you keep forgetting.
I know. Number 16, gotten a ticket. That's 10 points.
And we mean a ticket from a law enforcement officer, not a ticket to a carnival.
Or a parking ticket.
Yeah.
Number 17, drag race. That's 10 pointy things. Goal makers.
10 pointy things.
Number 18 is gotten a felony. That's $50.
Ooh.
Woo, that's
heavy
the big
hitter.
one. That's the big one.
Felony will get you.
Felony. Number 19 is graffitied something. Can of spray paint. Whether
It don't really have to be a spray paint either.
It doesn't have to be. Typically,
that's what we think of. How many?
That's 10. And then number 20, the last one, been kicked out of class for 10 points.
Well, I got a different answer than I did last night, I think. Maybe I missed one.
So let's see. I'm going to go through and add mine up real quick.
You had yours. I've got mine here.
Yeah, what did you end up with?
I ended up with 120.
120.
Yeah. I think last night, I had 140.
Let's see.
Maybe I'm wrong. I got 120 right now, though, if I added everything properly in my calculadora.
You're a worse human than I am. I'm only at 110.
Yeah. But I'm going to say what I did and what you did. Really, it's not a barometer of who's worse depending on how much you have.
I know.
So there are those $10 rinky-dink things like getting expelled from school or suspended.
So there are two things on here that I have questions about. And it's not necessarily because I either did them or didn't do them, but it's more around looking at things today with number 1, which was smoked weed. Does that include edibles or anything else?
It says smoked weed.
Right. Well, that's why
So I'm going to take it as, just like with the pills and everything else, I'm going to say it as the illegal act of smoking weed, not a legal
I'm not talking about legal.
Or a medicinal.
There are people that make brownies and cookies and everything else out of their illegal weed. So, all right.
You know what? Let's throw it in there. Let's say edibles count. Illegal edibles count.
Okay.
Illegal smoking or eating or snorting or drinking of a weed.
Okay.
We'll say that counts.
And then the other one I have, because I have just for clarity, I have never egged someone's house.
Yeah, I've never egged somebody's house.
But we used to do a thing called corning.
I know what you're talking about.
And
I think we talked about that before.
I think we have. So
hide the corn, hit a car.
We didn't do cars. We did houses. We would walk around the neighborhoods and we'd throw them at houses and run.
Throw corn at houses?
Yeah. Handfuls of feed corn.
Why? Like, what would that even do?
It makes a lot of noise.
You could have made a lot of bourbon with that.
You could have, but
of course, you don't want feed corn for bourbon. Typically,
it was dejected
I think it was sweet
corn. But either way, so we would chuck handfuls of corn. We'd walk around with gym socks filled with corn, and we would throw corn.
You're such a redneck white trash hillbilly.
That's what we did in Toronto. I don't think they do it anymore, but
I bet they do, man. All these kids think that it's just like we did. We're like, man, this is new, and our parents are like, yeah, we did that 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I'll have to find out if people still do it back home. But so I've never egged someone's house, but I have corned someone's house. But I'm not going to count that because it does say egged, and egg's
egged.
a bigger mess than corn is.
Yeah, egg is a big mess. Egg yolk too. It'll eat paint off at least the older vehicles. These newer vehicles have that. They're painted pretty well. A lot of the clear coating and.
We used to take ham in the middle in winter and slap it on people's windshields too.
So it freeze.
Yep, you can't get it off.
Just slap your meat on their windshield.
All right, so I've got a 110.
I got a 120. So I've done at least.
If we were counting corning, I'd be a 120. But
it should be. It could be one more thing than you, but depending on what yours. Like if you had a felony, that could be. I could have done like 6 more things than you.
Right, but you only had 10 more points than I did.
Yeah, so it
So
just depends. So I was going to say I've done one more thing than you, but
it could be
a number of things.
You could have wrecked a car,
So
and it could be.
I'm not going to say. I'll tell you, but I'm not going to say just for the sake of people trying to figure out.
Let them figure it out. So send us a message. I'm going to post this image, and once you have a listen, tally up yours and post yours, and at the end of the week before the next episode, we'll post up ours, or I'll post up mine at least.
What we did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind saying what I did. That's fine.
Yeah. So we'll post them up at the end of the week before the next episode, and we'll see
Now
how we all compare.
Since you were talking about skinny dipping, we were talking about all of them. You were asking questions. Skinny dipping. What if I wasn't skinny?
Well, skinny dipping just implies that you're
Chunky
naked.
Duncan.
Chunkin' Duncan.
I was Chunky Duncan. Yeah, I'll post up my list. I don't care. Once everybody gets to hear it and gets to figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll post it up into the week. So let us know your total. You don't have to post yours, but jump on our Facebook there.
I'd prefer you did post it.
So we can know all your dirty laundry.
So I can see.
I mean, honestly, nothing there's too bad unless you're ashamed. I mean, we'll make fun of you probably.
Yeah, you can make fun of me for some of the stuff that I've done.
But, yeah, I don't mind to post my list.
I mean, whatevers. So, that's all I got.
That's all I got as I sip my Powerade.
Yeah.
During no Jarank January.
You did send me another one about clear shorts.
Yeah. I didn't even look at it, man. I just hit send.
I'm like, yeah, we're not talking about that.
Men's clear shorts are supposedly trending.
No.
And it's just a picture of a dude with clear plastic-looking shorts.
And underwear.
And you can definitely see what... He's not a boxer guy.
No. He's a briefs. All right. Well, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Insta, Google, Tweetstagram.
You can shoot us an email at buckhornpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, you can Venmo Brandon-Martelle
or
on Venmo.
Download Brave from the Brave link. I did that last night finally.
From our link?
From our link.
Sweet.
Yes, I got new Bluetooth headphones, and Google was giving me all kind of fits. And I went, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go to our Facebook at Buckhorn Podcast, download Brave, and check it out. Phenomenal browser.
It's great. I love it.
Once I got it up and running and everything, because like you can customize everything on it.
Yeah.
So I went through the whole process, which still only took me like 7 minutes
And it
of reading
blocks
through everything.
Everything.
It blocked, like, I have to allow it to go to sites I want to go to.
Yeah, because it'll block everything.
And what I like is it shows you how many ads it's blocked, how much time it saved you, because it blocks cookies that slow your browsers down.
It does automatic upgrade to HTTPS, which is secure server stuff,
Right.
when and if they're available. And it's just it is just an all around better browser.
It's a great browser. So go to our Facebook page, look at Brave.
There are people out there that don't like Chrome because Google tracks everything. This doesn't track anything. It's built on Chromium, which is the engine that Chrome is built on, and it's an open source platform. Brave has taken that and built a non-tracking version of everything.
Right.
So check it out. Go to the Facebook page, click the link, install
Plus,
from
the
that
icon's
link.
really cool. The little lion.
It's a lion.
Thing.
It's great.
I like it.
So check it out. Like I said, go to our Facebook page, click that link, download, install, use it for at least 30 days.
You can import all your bookmarks from Google.
Yep.
That's what I did.
Or IE or Firefox. You can
any
import all.
browser.
It doesn't matter.
You just drop down, import everything.
Yeah, everything.
And you get it all right there. So it's like you're not missing a beat.
And you can sync between your devices. So you can sync between your laptop and your
phone.
bookmarks.
Yep.
Will all come in once you set everything up. You can set it from your phone to your iPad to your PC or Mac, whatever.
Samsung tablet.
Yep. It'll all come. All your links will go back and forth. It's nice.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. Use it for 30 days. And that's how we're trying to support the show at this point. That's it. So no drink January. Kicking it off 5 days ago.
We're
today.
going to get chocolate wasted.
Hot chocolate wasted.
Ooh, hot chalky.
So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. I'm Martelle. He's Randy. We're out.
Peace.
Pinkies up. Probably shouldn't eat the banana while we're recording.
Gross.
Right.
If you don't eat your nanner, go and eat it now.
No.
Scarf it.
Oh, wait.
Deep throat it.
No. Had to think about that.
Maybe.
No.